welcome to Cooking with Cori. I'm your host, Chef Cori Dern, and I'm also a proud media spokesperson for Foodland, Ontario. And today, this happens to be one of my favorite recipes that we're doing. It is called cucumber vichyssoise. Cucumber vichyssoise. It is French for, usually you think of vichyssoise, you think of a cold potato soup. And this is kind of a lovely Ontario spin on that because we have Ontario potatoes, but we also have Ontario cucumbers to make this absolutely delicious chilled soup. So I'm going to get started because there are a couple of components in creating this. And this is one of those things that if you're thinking about making this for a lovely spring lunch, for guests, you're going to want to make it ahead of time because you're going to want to let your vichyssoise chill because it is a cold soup. So right over here, I have got a lovely little stock pot, and I'm going to turn it up to about medium-high. And in it, I am going to put some butter because everything tastes better with butter, especially Ontario butter. And I'm going to let my butter melt a bit. And I'm also going to add to that an Ontario onion. And I don't want to caramelize the onion. I just want to soften it a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my onion in to my pot with my butter. And I'm just going to let it hang out for a little bit. In fact, if I want it to sweat and get that sweat on quickly, then I can always add just like a little pinch of salt, which will help bring out that sweat a little faster. So I'm just going to put that on the stove for now. Let that hang out for a few minutes. It should take about 4 or 5 minutes for it to sweat. And to that, I'm going to add my Ontario potatoes. And for this, what I did was you can usually cut your potatoes ahead of time and then either put them in water or wrap a paper towel around them so that prevents them from going brown, which is what I did right here. And because we're going to be pureeing this, I want to cut the potato into small dice because that way I know it's going to cook faster and only take about 10 minutes as opposed to generally taking about 15 to 20 minutes. So the smaller the chop, the faster it's going to cook. I can already hear my onions starting to sweat a bit. There we go. And 2 potatoes for this recipe are more than enough. But again, a recipe is a guideline. If you're the kind of person who, is only making enough for you and one other person, then just half the recipe. You don't have to do the whole thing, although this is a delicious, delicious recipe, one that you'll probably want to use over and over again. So just finished chopping up my potatoes here, and they're pretty uniform, so this should cook pretty quickly. There we go. And don't worry if there's a couple of brown spots. I mean, if you want to cut off the brown, you more than can. Again, you are the chef at home. This is one of those recipes that I saw on the foodlandontario.ca website, and I thought it was fantastic. So for this, I just want my onions not to brown. I just want them to get soft and tender to take that crispy, crunch out of them. And again, you can see, even though I put just butter in here, you can see that the salt has made it nice and wet. And just as it's starting to continue to get to that point, I'm going to toss in my potato because this is not a raw potato soup. This is definitely a cooked potato soup. There we go. Get my potato. Oh, it's already smelling so good. There's just something about onions, butter, and potato that are just magic in the kitchen. There we go. So now I've got this all incorporated. My onions are nice and soft. I'm just going to coat my potato. And then I'm going to add about 3 cups of stock to it. You can use vegetable stock or chicken stock. It's totally up to you. There we go. And then, of course, put a lid on that. And you're going to let that cook for, I'm going to say, about 10, 15 minutes so that the potatoes are nice and soft. Now, when the potatoes are finished getting nice and soft, you're going to let that cool for a few minutes. And then you're going to add your absolutely beautiful cucumber. There we go. Now, usually with cucumber, you want to take out the seeds when they're a field cucumber, but these cucumbers are absolutely beautiful, and you can use the whole cucumber. You don't have to remove the seeds. It's totally up to you. I like to leave the seeds in. Again, it is not a deal breaker if you want to take the seeds out. Totally up to you. So I'm going to dice this up again in small chunks because once it's all cooked and ready to go, I'm going to be adding this cucumber to my potato and my onion and stock. And then I'm going to start pureeing it in batches. And so this is ideally how you want the cucumber to look, about the same size as the potato. And I'm also going to get these beautiful chives and just do a nice little cut through of this because they are a wonderful addition to this Vichyssoise. There we go. That's a good amount. And I have my bowl right here. And so what I would do is once this is done and it's cooled, I'd add my cucumber in batches and I would put it into my blender and then I would puree it like I've done right here into this beautiful puree. You're going to see the flecks of green. That's why I don't like peeling my cucumber because I love seeing the flecks of green. And then we add it to our bowl. And here we go. We've got a beautiful chilled Vichyssoise, cucumber Vichyssoise. I just want to get this one in because it's stunning. And this is how much it yielded. This is by the recipe, the actual batch that I did. And it's just beautiful, as you can see. Great texture. That potato helps bind everything together and gives it really beautiful body. I'm just going to add a little bit more just to top it off. And then to this, I'm going to add a little bit of cream. Ontario cream is best, we know that. Just to bind it together a bit more and give it that lovely, lovely creaminess. And I'm going to mix that up. I like to show the swirl of cream in it, just that's my personal preference. And then I'm going to top it with these beautiful chives. Isn't that lovely? And here we have our beautiful Foodland, Ontario cucumber Vichyssoise. This comes together really beautifully. Let it chill in the fridge for a couple of hours. You can make it in the morning and serve it for lunch or even do it the day before. You can go to foodlandontario.ca to get this wonderful recipe, or you can go to chefcori.com and check it out as well. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.